Okay, class, hi. This is chapter 15 in grammar, and if we had actually been in school, I would have introduced this lesson to you on Tuesday because of our limited amount of time together, only 2 days a week. But I'm choosing to not send you this lesson through Google Classroom until Thursday this week because we're introducing a new sentence pattern and I didn't want to mess you up before you take your grammar test, okay? So your grammar test this week, chapter 14, is only going to cover patterns 1, 2, and 3. But today's lesson, which hopefully you've already taken your grammar test now, is going to introduce pattern 4. So let's do a quick review because we identify our sentence patterns by their core parts. So let's review real quick. The core parts of pattern 1 sentence anytime are subject, noun, and verb, right? So noun, verb. The core parts of pattern 2 are going to be subject, noun, verb transitive, because we have that direct object in there. And every time we have a direct object, our verb becomes transitive. Our verb up here is intransitive, no direct object, okay? Pattern 3, our core parts are subject, noun, verb transitive, indirect object, and direct object. So those are our core parts for our pattern 3 sentence. Okay, so today we're going to introduce pattern 4. I'm going to put it up here. And I want you to see the core parts of a pattern 4 sentence before we even start doing it. This is how I've introduced all of these to you. So the core parts of a pattern 4 sentence are going to be a subject, noun, an LV, which is a linking verb. We're going to talk more about that today, and a PRN. That stands for predicate noun. We're going to talk more about that today. So this is our new pattern that we're going to be learning and practicing and getting really, really good at. Now, one thing I want to talk to you about before we move on is these are the core parts of all these different patterns, and these will always be the core parts that identify these patterns. But I want to remind you that if a sentence doesn't have a subject noun, but instead has a subject pronoun, when you list the sentence pattern, you're still going to list it as a subject noun. This will not change to subject pronoun, even if you was the subject pronoun in the sentence. When you list your sentence pattern out here at the beginning of the sentence, it will still say SN, even though you labeled your noun in the sentence as a subject pronoun, because a pronoun took the place of the noun. So I hope that makes sense, and if it doesn't, have your parents let me know. I need to clarify this a little bit better, okay? All right, so let's look at this example here, and let's talk more about this pattern 4, which has a noun, linking verb, predicate noun pattern, okay? Let's talk about the linking verb first, okay? So a linking verb is not an action verb. A linking verb is going to show a state of being. So oftentimes a linking verb is a helping verb. Am, is, are, was, were, be, been, being. Those are good linking verbs. But sometimes it's also words like appear. I appear to be sad. That's not really an action word. It's how I am. It's my state of being. I appear. On page 595 in your textbook, there are examples listed of good helping verbs, and it just says am, is, are, was, were, being, been, appear, become, feel, grow, look, remain, seem, smell, sound, taste. All of those could be linking verbs that are showing the state of being of your subject. So what your subject is instead of what your subject is doing. Does that make sense? That's a linking verb. So a pattern 4 sentence is always going to have a linking verb. There's not going to be action going on, but it's going to be telling us, that linking verb is going to be telling us what your subject is. Okay? Let's see. A linking verb is always going to link the subject to the predicate noun. So it will always come in between the subject and the predicate noun. It'll link them together. And it's going to be labeled LV, capital L, capital V. Okay, but that's pretty much it with linking verbs. Just a new kind of verb, a helping verb, or words that just show a state of being. Okay? All right, so let's talk about this predicate noun. What in the world is a predicate noun? Well, you know all year long, hopefully you've been separating your sentences with that vertical line, okay, that shows we have a subject and we have a predicate, okay? Our subject is just all the words in the sentence that help modify or describe the subject, and the predicate is all the words in the sentence that help modify or describe our verb, okay? So a predicate noun is a noun, just like our subject noun is a noun, direct objects are always nouns, objects of the preposition are always nouns, indirect objects are always nouns. Now we have a predicate noun, but they're always going to be found in the predicate portion of the sentence. The PRN, the predicate noun, will always be found in the predicate portion of your sentence, not over here in the subject, okay? So don't confuse your subject with your predicate nouns, because your predicate noun will always be in the predicate portion of your sentence. Okay, so a predicate noun is a noun in the predicate that means the same thing as your subject noun. So if we look at this sentence, my uncle is a dentist, we know the whole sentence is about uncle, so he is our subject noun, okay? And we know that our only verb option here is. It's a helping verb, so in this case we're calling it a linking verb because uncle is what? Well, uncle is. He's not doing anything, but this is his state of being right now. He just is. Uncle is what? I use that little what question again. Uncle is what? Dentist. Okay, so here's the word dentist. Well, dentist and uncle are the same thing. They're the same person. The uncle is the dentist is the uncle. So that makes dentist our predicate noun. Okay? Makes sense? Then we can go ahead and label PPA because whose uncle? My uncle. And A is always an article adjective. Okay? So this is one example of a pattern for sentence. Let's try one more. These are just the examples in your book. Roses are pretty flowers. Okay, so my whole sentence is about the roses. So roses is my subject noun. Okay, roses what? What are the roses doing? Well, they're not doing anything. They're not wilting. They're not pricking. They just are. So I see this helping verb are here, and I've got to think to myself, okay, is that my verb in this sentence? And sure enough, it is. It's my linking verb. So now if I know I've got a linking verb, I'd better be looking for a PRN, okay? If I see a helping verb and it's my only verb option, then it's probably a linking verb, and I need to be looking for a PRN because a linking verb always connects a subject noun with a predicate noun, okay? So remember, a predicate noun is found in my predicate, and here's my subject. So the rest of this is predicate, and the predicate noun always renames or is the same thing as the subject. So roses, what's the same thing? Pretty or flowers? Well, roses are pretty, but pretty is a what kind, which one, how many, right? What kind of flowers? So pretty is describing the flowers. It's an adjective. Flowers is going to be our predicate noun because roses are what? Roses are flowers. Flowers and roses are the same thing. So this is going to be my SN, LV, PRN, P4 sentence, my pattern 4. Okay? So I hope that gives you a good introduction of pattern 4. I don't think that I've missed anything. We're going to be going over more of this in the next couple of weeks, okay? But I want you to think about these questions. What is a noun called that renames the subject in a sentence? What is a noun called that renames the subject in a sentence? It's called a predicate noun. So when we start getting to our noun charts again, we have a new noun to consider. Now it's not just subject, noun, direct object, indirect object, and objects of the prepositions that are nouns. Now I can add a predicate noun as well to those noun charts, okay? So what is a noun called that renames the subject in a sentence? It's a predicate noun. Where is a predicate noun located in a sentence? Well, it's located in the predicate portion of my sentence, not in my subject. It's located in the predicate. What kind of verb shows a state of being and connects the subject noun to the predicate noun? A linking verb. It links my subject noun to my predicate noun, okay? And what are the core parts of a pattern 4 sentence? Subject noun, linking verb, predicate noun. And what is the pattern in a pattern 4 sentence? The pattern in a pattern 4 sentence is just what we just said. It's noun, verb, noun. Okay, so the patterns in the sentences are just noun, verb, noun. Okay, the pattern in a pattern 3 sentence would be noun, verb, noun, noun, because indirect objects and direct objects are always nouns. So when it says what is the pattern, it just is looking for noun, verb, noun of a pattern 4. Okay? But this is your introduction to pattern 4 sentences, so good luck as you start classifying those. Please let me know if you have any questions, okay? Bye.